Alright, what's up everybody? So today we're gonna have a different style of video. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Hecarim is actually gonna be having a lot of nerfs coming to him in patch I think it's 4.19 or 11.9 actually, not 4.19. So in patch 11.9, which is gonna be next week, next Wednesday, Hecarim, as well as Chemtank and Deadmans, which are two of like the core items he builds nowadays, are going to be getting really, really, really hard nerfed. So I wanted to make this video today to just like kind of give you my thoughts on what on the nerfs in general, um, what I think they're going to mean, and also what I think we can do to like kind of different builds or different kind of things that could maybe help not feel them as much. Just things like that, right? So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So we're gonna start by just looking at the HECARIM nerfs, right? First nerf is base armor lowered from 36 to 32. So what this nerf is gonna mean is, I don't know if you guys have been watching my YouTube videos, but I've had this one video that I made where I was going this like control ward with health potion start on HECARIM. And you won't be able to do that start anymore, because the thing about it is that his base armor, since it's lower, will mean that now he's going to take a lot more damage from the jungle camps, which puts him a lot more prone to being invaded, right? So you're gonna have your refillable pots to keep you at like top shape, because nowadays Hecarim with one potion can full clear his entire jungle, right? And he'll like leave and gets a scuttle crab at like literally full health, right? But with these nerfs, it'll probably mean that you're gonna have to use both potions and you're not gonna get their full HP. So the second change is that his armor per level is increasing. So that's good. I mean, it just means that early game he's gonna be nerfed, but then later on in the game his armor is increased, so that helps a bit. Um, Rampage damage amp changed from 5% to 2% plus 2% bonus AD. So what this essentially means is, in case anyone doesn't know, the way Hecarim Q works is if you Q and then you Q again within 8 seconds, you have a stack of Rampage, right? A stack of your Q. And what it does is it makes it so that your Q does amplify damage and has a 1 second lower cooldown. So with this change, instead of getting 10% damage amp, you're going to be getting only 4% plus 6% bonus AD. So that's going to be interesting, to say the least. I mean, it's definitely going to be enough to the early game, but if there's builds that have a bit of attack damage in them, it could definitely help. So I guess we're just going to have to see what really happens with this. Not entirely too sure how it's going to pan out, but it's definitely a nerf, right? Because it's like 6% lower. And also, since you don't really have any bonus AD like level 1 either, um, it's going to make it so that your early skirmishing is also a lot worse, right? Even if you do have your double Q stacks when you're getting to scuttle and things like that. The one thing I will say about it that does seem cool though is that since it does scale off your bonus AD, if you use your E and then you're spamming your Q while your E is going off, it's going to be making it so that you're actually doing more damage with your Q. So that opens up the door for a bit of skill expression with how you're playing the fights and stuff, which is cool. But yeah, so that's an interesting change. Then another big change is heal changed from 30% damage from any source to 30 plus 2.5% bonus AD damage taken from Hecarim and 15% from allies. So what this means is the way your W currently works, as when you use your W, right, it makes this circle, and all the damage that is done to any enemy within that circle heals you for 30% damage done, right? So like, let's say Veigar ults Samira for 1,000 damage, you're going to be healing for 300. But with this change, what it does is it makes it so that early on in like jungle 1v1s and stuff, it's really unchanged, right? Because your 1v1, 2v2, you might be a little weaker because you won't be healing as much from your allies since it is half. But it's like, it's not going to matter too much. But what this will do is make it so that your when it comes to like the team fighting, you can't just rely on your allies doing damage to kind of like kill you up to full HP, right? As it currently happens. One cool thing though is that with this bonus AD scaling, it's going to make it so that you have the potential to heal more than 30% from your damage, which I think is like kind of interesting for sure. Um, it does look like Riot is for sure trying to kind of push HECARIM towards having to build AD items, because the way he currently is, he just builds full tank items and one-shots everyone, right? But with these changes, what it's gonna really do is make it so that HECARIM is actually forced to build like certain AD items that don't necessarily, like, he can't just build Deadman's Force of Nature and just one-shot AD carry, right? So that'll be interesting. Then the last change is that your E minimum damage is lowered by, oh, hold on a second, I didn't read this, so this is ooh, okay, this is okay, this actually takes me a lot by surprise. Wow, that's a big nerf. Okay. Okay. So sorry, I just reading that just really surprised me. So your E minimum damage is lowered at rank 1 by 5, and then at max rank by 45, and your maximum damage that you can do with it is lowered by 10 at rank 1 up to, what is that, 90? 90 at rank 5, which is a definitely a very big change. Definitely a very, 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 very big change. Yeah, that's a big change. So, what are my thoughts on this? So now that we went over the changes, let's go over my thoughts. All right. I think that the chem tank build is dead, because if you guys didn't already see, in case anyone cannot read this language, which is French, chem tank's movement speed is actually getting lowered from 60% to 40%, right? So you're getting a lot less movement speed from it, and I know they're nerfing Deadman's as well. I'm not sure what the Deadman's nerf is because I didn't have a look at that. But what it means is that right now, if you build Chem Tank on HECARIM and full movement speed, right, you can run on 80, and then with the amount of movement speed you get, because it converts to bonus 80, you just one-shot everyone, right? But Ride is nerfing his base damage, which means that he's actually gonna have to start building a lot more damage to deal damage, right? Because you can't rely on just straight up E damage, E with like a fully stacked Q, right? Because your Q scales off bonus AD, and now your E damage is nerfed. So, I'm going to be posting a video maybe tomorrow or the day after showcasing the new HECARIM build that I'm going to be using for next patch, which will be Divine Sunder, not Chem Tank anymore. And you're going to be going Conqueror. And the reason I think this build will actually be even better now with the changes is because Conqueror is going to increase your bonus like AD. So you're going to have more bonus AD like the longer you're fighting, which means that your Q will do more and more and more damage, and your W is going to heal you for more and more and more the longer you're fighting. And also, Divine Sunder is also going to be a nice addition because it makes you very tanky. Triforce could be good. Triforce could definitely be good as well, but the reason why I've been kind of holding back from it is because I feel like I'm too squishy with Triforce. So that's why I decided to go for Sunder. And maybe we're gonna be trying out. We could try out like Sunder with Black Cleaver Sterax. I think if we have those three items, like let's say a full build example could be something like Sunder, Black Cleaver, Sterax, and then you're gonna get like Frozen Heart, your boots, and then maybe like Spare Visage, right? So that could definitely be a really good build. Makes you really tanky. And then with the 3 AD items, right? Black Cleaver, Sunder, and Serax, it's going to be really good for you as well because you're able to just get a lot of attack damage to make yourself deal more damage. But yeah, these are going to be really, really big nerfs for sure, though. Honestly, though, I will say one thing. I don't think it's without reason, right? Like, HECARIM has been 80% ban rate since, like, the season started. So, honestly, I really, really like these nerfs. Just because I feel like it's going to give him a lot more skill expression. It'll make him a lot less flavor of the month kind of champion. Make it so that now, like, us one-tricks, right, who just want to play the champion won't have to sit through, like, 7 or 10 lobbies just to get him one game because of, like, how many games he gets banned, right? So I actually like these changes a lot. even though they will be very, very bad for his win rate, like it would really not surprise me at all if HECARIM win rate drops sub 50% after these nerfs. Probably going to be hovering around like 48%, maybe even 49, but we'll see. Anyway, so I just want to make this a video going over my thoughts. And yeah, hopefully they're not insanely big, but I think they will be. Anyways, if you guys, I don't know. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, so if you haven't already, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.